Hello, YouTubers and fellow guitarists. I'm doing a review on the Guild f150r acoustic guitar. I originally purchased this as an add-on to my purchase from zzounds.com. I was looking for a new mixing board, but in order to achieve the 12 payment plan, they recommended that I add another item to it so that I could get the lower payment. I'd be paying more, but I'd be able to afford the payments. So in order to do that, I said, well, I'll get another guitar, a nice acoustic. I've always wanted a really nice high-end acoustic. So I went with the Guild f150r. I only could find about 2 reviews online about them. They were very positive reviews. It wasn't until afterwards that I found out, after I'd already ordered it and it was on the way, found out that they are now owned by Fender. Um, that wasn't a deal breaker. Fender, they may have stopped really caring about quality, but they still put out some good ones. So in any case, I got the guitar, and here it is, a very nice looking guitar. It's kind of the plain Jane. I don't like a million inlays everywhere and all the fancy schmancy this and that. They did just the right amount of inlay work around the rosette, and the block inlays are pretty common, and they give it that kind of, it looks appropriate for the acoustic guitar that it is. Nice little back stripe there, and headstock is just the standard Guild logo. Nothing crazy fancy, and I like that. However, the guitar is a complete and utter piece of garbage, and I mean the worst guitar I've ever played in my life. I actually can't even say that because it's literally unplayable. Now, I can't say for sure if that's the case with every good Guild guitar, but quality control is a serious issue here. If you look here, the first thing I noticed is that the action on the strings, oh my god, it's so low. This is going to be awesome. Not awesome at all. The bass strings, open, it's not too bad. As soon as you start fretting, it's buzz everywhere. But that's, you can adjust the truss rod and maybe get away with a little bit more of that, maybe heighten the bridge a little bit. Then when you get to the lower strings, all the way up the neck until about the 12th or 13th fret, which is where, upon further inspection, this is, again, the truss rod is entirely loosened up. I literally actually took it and turned it so much that it came off. So there is no backwards tension on this neck. This guitar is just a piece of crap. Now, there is no possible way that anybody in the factory had played this and said, good go. There's no way. This either just missed inspection or something, or they just don't give a shit. On top of being completely unable to play it at all in any way, I actually even took the strings off and figured I'd try and get past that little frost heave at the neck joint, and took all these pieces of cardstock. There's a few more I couldn't pick up. All these pieces of cardstock and piled up on that bridge and brought it really high. The action was much, much higher. Still buzzing. It could play, but it was still buzzing all over on the bottom 2 or 3 strings. This is a major issue with quality control for Guild / Fender. On one of the main reasons I got this guitar is because the one good review that I saw, the one extensive review that I saw, said that their fretwork was immaculate and it was just really well done. And I gotta say, this is probably the worst fretwork I've ever seen. As far as the heights of the frets, I would assume that they're all good, except for the last few here where it dips upwards when it goes to the body. The height seems right though. You know, I guess it's hard to tell since I can't really play it. But as far as the edges of the frets, they're jagged edge sharp all the way up, and of course even worse up on the body. That's always going to be a little sharp up there because it's really hard to do a fret dress up there. But the edges are just terrible. All they seem to do is just took that 35-degree bevel block and just hammered it all the way up and down, and you can see. You won't be able to see it on the camera, but on the edge of the binding, they just barreled away a large portion of the binding and had no care whatsoever to how the guitar feels on your hands. It's just jagged. You would just get stuck everywhere, almost to the point where you you might actually get cut. I could deal. Well, no, I can't deal with that. This is an $1,100 guitar. That's there's no way it's worth more than $100. It's not even worth $100 because the amount of it would require a complete neck set, a new neck set. On top of that, on the inside here of the neck, it's like they just didn't finish sanding. It's all rough as hell right there. No big deal. I could handle that. I could just rub a little 600 grit on there and put some oil on it and fine, whatever. But, I mean, you got to be kidding me, Fender. This is ridiculous. What are you doing? You're ruining what was a good guitar name. It's just, I have no words to describe how horrible this guitar is. Literally unplayable. I've never had a guitar, not a $200 Ibanez, not a Fender Squire Strat. I've never had a guitar that was completely unplayable. You just... Everywhere you go. Oh, you get a little bit of... You really... Oh, no, it's not going to get anything. Up in here... Not too shabby. Sounds like it could be a nice guitar if you could play it. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for me because this was a purchase I wasn't really all gung-ho about making, but I said, well, if I'm going to make one, I'm going to get a nice guitar. I've always wanted a really nice acoustic, and I am still in search of it because all I found was the shittiest acoustic I've ever had in my life. I really want to bash this thing with a hammer because I'm so pissed off. Just a complete and utter letdown on Fender's part. I called them, nothing they can do. We really won't do anything for that. And it's like, what, I realize I bought it from Zounds. They're offering to return it, no problem. They'll give me a new one or a different item. But this is just a massive headache on my part. I have to send it out. It doesn't cost me anything because Zounds is very good about that. They'll just ship me a label and I'll pack it back up. It's just time out of my day. And then I got to wait another couple weeks for another guitar if I choose to get one. And, I would think that Fender would be smart enough to say, okay, well, we seriously fucked up. And we need to hook you up, and there must be an authorized dealer around you that we can direct you to where you can bring this one back and we'll get you your new one right there. You try it out, you tell us if you like it, boom, you're good to go. You would think that they would do that, but they won't. They won't, they have no worries about customer satisfaction of any kind. Just a horrible company to deal with. Basically just told me to screw off and go deal with Zounds because there's nothing they can do. But it's their guitar, I got to deal with the dealer, that sold it to me. Well, the dealer is not the issue. Zounds is a great company. Been nothing but helpful. But the dealer is not the issue. They don't test these guitars out. They don't do anything. They're a dealer. They send them out. The issue is quality and or the lack thereof. This is just garbage. It's the worst guitar I've ever bought in my life, and I've bought some real stinkers. Being on a budget, I've always tried to get the best value I can for the limited money that I have, and this was every bit of the money I have, and it's junk. Junk, junk, junk. No other. Don't buy this guitar. Don't buy Fender Guilds. You might get lucky and you might get one that comes off of the line good. I don't know. I can't say that every guitar is like this. But if even one gets through like this, oh man. I mean, this is horrible. It's one thing to have a couple little issues. Every guitar that you order online is going to have a couple little issues. You're going to have to do a little truss rod adjustment. You're going to have to, maybe file a nut a little bit or something like that. It's always going to happen. But unplayable? I mean, it's ridiculous. I just want to. I'm so pissed off about it. I want to smash this thing right down to the ground, but I can't because I have to return it. That's my review of this piece of shit Guild F150R acoustic. Hopefully Fender gets their head out of their asses and starts treating their guitars and their customers with a little bit more respect. That's all. Thanks.